Hargis got him. Third foul on Hargis. Hargis, the high point man on the floor, he has 25 points. Brady Lipp at the line has 20 for Breckenridge. Converts the first. He has 21. 59-36. He has both of them.
Well, I tell you, for the first quarter and a half, Breckenridge looked like a pretty good club. They thought this was going to be a heck of a game.
Well, Marshall U-High just went berserk in that third quarter. Hadley won't go down. Rebound picked up by Petrin. Long down court pass. Try to save it from going out of bounds, and they can't.
Well, the tough thing now for Breckenridge with almost an entire quarter to go is they're in a position to... They're being forced to do things they don't like to do, and as a result, it's going to be a tough afternoon for them.
Lane violation. 59-37. Ludgate was in the lane too long. Todd Clean is back in now for Breckenridge. This is Brady Lipp. Underneath, Larry Johnson, and he has two. A nice passing combination. Lipp to Clean to Johnson for the basket. Johnson has 9 points. He has just 4 here in the second half, and that's had a lot to do with the way things are going. Newby has 6. Had a couple from really long range, stolen away by Newby. Underneath is Henderson, 2 points. No, did not go. Missed it. Knocked out of bounds. I have a tendency to say 2 a little soon on something like that. 61-39. 22-point lead. Newby. Rebound to Brady Lipp. Hustles it into the front court. Whistle. May have been fouled by Hargis. If it is, that's a 4th on Hargis. Henderson. Henderson gets it. That's his 3rd.
Both teams in the bonus, so this will be a 1-and-1. This is just the kind of foul you get when you really want to get the ball back in a hurry and do something with it.
They got to where they like it.
Yeah.
Free throw comes out, so he won't get the bonus. Hadley. Boy, they can all put it in. They're not afraid to put it up from anywhere. Ludgate doesn't shoot much from outside, but when he does put it up, it's gone in so far today. Gunderson, Clean, off the front of the rim, rebound down to Newby. Henderson, cross court, underneath Newby, 2. Boy, they worked that ball around well. Newby has 8. Marshall U-High really whips that ball around when they get that fast break going. Lipp behind the back pass. Johnson couldn't handle it. Gunderson puts it in. He has 4 points. 65-41, 24-point lead Marshall U-High. Their biggest lead has been 26. Henderson, Newby from 24, off the rim, but a foul called. 4:29 left in the first half. Foul is on Gunderson. That's his 4th. Newby at the line. He has 8 points. First chance from the free throw line in the game. There's a look at Steve Newby, 6'2" senior. Gets the first one. There was a 2-shot foul. He was in the act of shooting. And converts them both. So he has 10 points. 67-41. 26-point lead again for Marshall. Tapped around, control by Marshall U-High, but Newby was on the baseline. And so it'll belong now to Breckenridge. Pass in by Ekron. Baseline, Ekron puts it up and in. He hasn't shot very often. He has 4 points. 67-43, 24-point lead for Marshall U-High, and the Cardinals now content to slow it down a little bit. They have been flying in the second and third quarters. Third quarter, they broke it wide open. Boy, Hargis. 27 points for Hargis. That's the tournament high, I believe. Brady Lipp. Now he goes cold. He's missed his last 3 shots. He was all that was holding Breckenridge in earlier. Henderson runs into traffic. Offensive foul on Henderson. He has 3 now. 3:41 left. You get a chance to see that again. Henderson with the ball. Man's got his position pretty firmly anchored. Ekron does. So the offensive foul on Henderson. Bring it on the side to Gunderson. Won't go down. Hit the back bracket. Henderson pulls it away. 3-on-2. Marshall U High back, and Henderson lost the dribble that time. Palmed the ball. Carried it. So that'll be a turnover for Marshall U High. We're starting to get a bunch of changes now. Scott Lipp comes back in for Breckenridge. And we have in for Marshall U High now Jeff Morley. Jeff Morley, where's number 30? Ekron behind the basket, off his fingertips, out of bounds. 26-point lead for Marshall U High. That's the 3rd time they've had that big a margin. It's been a long time since I've seen a game broken open that rapidly. Traveling call on Newby. This was a very tight, very close basketball game with less than a minute to go in the 2nd quarter. And since that time, it's been all uphill for Breckenridge and all downhill for Marshall U High. Errant pass, picked up and saved. Hargis, he's got Henderson, can't get it to him, shoots, puts it in. Basket counts, and the foul is on who? I believe Hargis. The foul will be on Hargis. And that is his 4th, but the basket does count. 29 points now for Hargis. Cusack has come back in again for Marshall U High. So we have Cusack and Morley, the 2 newcomers out there now for Marshall U High. First free throw is good. As you take a look at Robin Abel in the game for Breckenridge. Also in for Breckenridge is Russ Shasky. He wears number 51. Abel wears 21. Cusack with it for Marshall U High. Newby. Yes, sir. He has 12. Behind the back dribble by Abel, loses it, picked up by Henderson, shovels it off, cross-court pass. Morley's shot won't go. We have a foul underneath on Ekron. It's his 3rd. And you see it again. There's Morley up for the shot, and he's fouled. Foul came earlier, and Cusack will do the shooting. Let's see. Another Jeff Hager has come in for Marshall U High now. Hager wears 42. And number 40 is in for Marshall U High, John Green. That's a look at Nick Cusack. Has the free throw, so he breaks into the scoring column. The happy young man. He knows they're going to play again Friday evening in the semifinals. 75-45, 30-point lead for Marshall U High. Ball in the front court. Tom Petron with it. Tom Petron now in for Breckenridge. Almost thrown away. Ted Petron was playing earlier. Ball belongs to Breckenridge. See if we have any other changes. Scott Lipp with it. From 20 feet on the left side. Puts it in. Scott Lipp. Turnover. Ekron whistled. And a foul called on John Green. Basket by Scott Lipp was his first. 75-47. 28-point margin for Marshall U High with 1:55 to go. Don't forget our second game this afternoon, Winona Cotter and Wyndham. Ekron at the free throw line converts. He has 5 points. He'll shoot again. Gets it.
41-3 for Breckenridge.
Pat Freeze has come in now for Breckenridge. Pat is a 6'1" junior. Where's number 41? See, we have another newcomer for Marshall. Jesse Gray is in there. Green, battle underneath. Blocked, and it's pulled in by Freeze. Breckenridge brings the ball into the front court. Veteran Scott Lipp from 18. Good. In and out, no good. And the rebound to Morley. Long down court pass, trying to get it to Gray. Deflected. Green has it. Green down the left lane. 2. John Green has his first state tournament points. 107 left. 77-49. Again, a 28-point lead. Here's Scott Lipp. Ball batted around. Green battling court along with Petrin, and it goes out of bounds. Belongs to Marshall U High. Less than a minute to go in the game. And Marshall U High will advance to the semifinal round Friday night against the winner of our second game, Winona Cotter and Wyndham. So Marshall U High pushes their record with this win to 26-0 on the season, and that's tops in the state. Little Falls and Bloomington Jefferson both with 25-0 marks now. Rebound for Breckenridge. Scott Lipp. Basket counts. Lipp's basket counts. He has 4 points. Get a chance to see it again. Here's Lipp, kind of waiting. And Jesse Gray gives him the final nudge. Again, more changes. Free throw by Lipp is good. Let's see. Joel Crescent has come in now for Breckenridge. And Neil Christensen, number 43, is also in for Breckenridge. So both clubs have used just about everybody. That's Walt Whitaker. We have a lane violation. Walt Whitaker has come in for Marshall U High. Walt wears number 34. I'm sure Marshall U High has used everybody. 77-52. Marshall U High leads it by 25. Shot won't go. Put up and in by Christensen. Christensen gets his first 2 points. Long shot by Gray. Gray goes out of bounds and belongs to Breckenridge with 15 seconds left in the game. And Breckenridge calls a timeout. So there's a timeout on the floor. The score, Marshall U High 76.
At the post, a 6'5" senior number 21, Tim Olson. The guards, a 5'8" junior number 4, Ricky Howard. And a 5'8" senior number 5, Francis Connor.
Add to that Pat Christensen, number 33, who will play at a forward position for Breckenridge. The Cowboys will start number 10, Scott Lipp, and number 14, Mike Yagi at guards. The center is Barry Ness, number 54. The forwards, Stan Ekren, number 22, and number 34, Ron Wessels. So this is the final game of quarterfinal competition between Breckenridge and Orr. Orr in the dark uniforms, blue with gold, and Breckenridge in the light, white with blue trim. And the opening tap controlled by Orr, and we're underway with the ball. Francis Connors out front. It is Christensen. They bring it to the baseline. Christensen back out atop the key again. Trying to get it into the middle. They get it in now. Back out front again. Connor. This is Howard. In the middle, the turnaround jumper off the back bracket, no good, and the rebound belongs to Breckenridge. Scott Lipp, the leading scorer for Breckenridge. Cross-court pass. Up, and the shot no good by Stan Ekren, and Orr comes back with it. Orr in the dark uniforms, Breckenridge in light. This is Howard with the ball. Ricky Howard underneath for two.
At 6'5" senior Tim Olson. Tim's averaging 21 points this season for the Braves.
Tim is 6'5" senior. This is Scott Lipp in the front court. He has averaged 17 points a game, the leading scorer for the Cowboys.
Scott, incidentally, is the son of the coach,
right.
Cleveland.
Wessels for two for Breckenridge, and we're tied at 2 apiece. Howard out front to Pat Christensen, a 6-foot senior. The pass in the lane, back to Christensen, and he has 2 points. 4-2, Breckenridge leads for the second time in the game. We have been tied at 2 apiece. Baseline jumper deflected, and the rebound pulled in very neatly by Tim Olson after he partly deflected the shot. So Orr with a 2-point lead, and they have the ball in the front court. This is Connor. Turnaround jumper is good. Tim Olson has 4 points. And it's 6-2 in favor of Orr. They have led since the outset. Cross-court pass. The jumper for Breck. Stan Ekren has his first 2 points of the game, and it's 6-4. 6-4. Orr leads by 2 with 5:34 to go. First quarter. Turnover. 2 quick points for Mike Yagi. And we're all tied up at 6 apiece. Second tie of the game. 6-6. Orr with the ball in the front court. Christensen out near the center jump circle. Moves to the right side. Feeds the corner. Errant pass into the middle. We have a foul called, and it is called on Tim Olson, his first team foul for either team. So Breckenridge with a chance to take the lead for the first time in the game.
Here you see the foul by 6'5" senior Tim Olson.
Breckenridge with a 2-inch per man height advantage, or averaging just over 6 foot per man. And Breckenridge at 6'2", but the steal for Connor. His shot comes off no good, and the rebound belongs to Breckenridge as Ron Wessels went up and hauled it in. This is Scott Lipp. Into the lane. We get a whistle. And a foul called. See what's on. Lipp will go to the line. Pat Christensen, his first. Here it is again. This is Lipp. Moving from right to left dribble, and there you see the reach in and the foul. He was not in the act of shooting, so it is a non-shooting foul. Ball belongs now to Orr. The officials for tonight's game are Wayne Dietz from Anoka and Pat Kelly from Minneapolis. Out front, they bring the ball to Connor. Howard. 19-foot jumper. Rebound hauled in by Breckenridge. Ron Wessels there for it. Lipp 30 feet away. From the baseline. No good. Rebound. Put up and in, but it won't count. We had a whistle prior to that underneath the basket.
Foul called against number 41, Dave LaRock, his first.
Dave LaRock commits the personal. His first and his team's third. Ouch.
A little gymnastics.
Number 33, Christensen.
Well, Pat Christensen picks up his second foul, and there wasn't too much doubt about that one. That's the 4th team foul now. Here it is again, and oh my goodness, that'll cause you back spasms for a while. Just one of those things where you get up off your feet and there's nothing you can do about it.
It's almost worse than walking up the steps here at the St. Paul Civic Center.
Wessels has his second basket of the evening. And Breckenridge has their first lead at 8-6. First time they have led in the ball game. Howard with it. For Orr. Gets the return pass. Christensen takes the jumper from 10 on the right side. No good. Loose ball, and Christensen has it for Orr. Brings it back out front to Howard. Sends it out to Christensen. In the lane. And what do we have? a jump ball. LaRock got the ball but couldn't find an opening, and they say he traveled with the basketball. So it belongs to Breckenridge. They hold a 2-point lead at 8-6 with 3:34 left to go in the first quarter. That's our score here. And we have not yet begun action over at the Met Sports Center. In their second game of the evening, we'll be going over there as soon as action gets underway.
Both these teams play definite running games, and they're setting quite a fast pace already tonight here.
In the lane, the turnaround jumper blocked by LaRock, and he picks up the personal. That'll be a shooting violation, as Ekron was in the act.
Foul number 41.
He'll go to the line for 2.
His second, the team's fifth. For the Cowboys,
8-6.
number 22, Stan Efron at the line.
See LaRock there committing the foul.
Free throw is good. Ekron has 3. First free throw for either team tonight. Second one comes off, no good, and the rebound belongs to Christensen of Orr.
Stan Ekron, incidentally, is the leading rebounder this year for the Breckenridge Cowboys.
Braves down by 3. They have the ball in the front court. They bring it back out front to Howard. Howard and Christensen up atop, the key for the Braves of Orr. Howard, 22-0, Orr's record on the year. Breckenridge, 19-4, but they came on strong late in the season. 3 of their 4 losses were their first 3 games of the year. Bingo! Francis Connor is his first field goal, and it's 9-8. In favor of Breckenridge. They took the lead at 8-6 and have had it since. Ball comes back out front. Picked up out there by Ekron. They go to the far side now. Wessels to the baseline. Back out front to Lip. Wessels underneath. Trying to get it to Ness. And the ball taken away, and Howard has it for Orr. 2:13 left to go first quarter. 9-8. Breckenridge with a 1-point lead. Christensen brings it back over to Connor. Out front to Christensen. Whistle. And a traveling violation on Orr. 3rd turnover for the Braves here in the first quarter.
Both these teams, I should say both these towns, have seen tournament action before. Both Orr and Breckenridge have undergone a 2-year absence. They were both in the state tournament back in 1976.
5th tournament appearance overall for Breckenridge. They won their state title way back in 1940. Does it count? We'll wait for the signal from referee Pat Kelly. It does. Barry Ness has the bucket.
Take a look at it here. Barry Ness goes up. Foul against Pat Christensen. That's his 3rd of the game.
He's picked up 3 in a hurry. Ness at the free throw line converts the 3-point play. And Breckenridge now with a 4-point lead, their biggest of the ball game, 12-8. 3-point play by Barry Ness. Orr in the front court. Christensen out front with 1:42 to go. They bring it to Connor on the left side of the key. Connor and Christensen. Christensen down the left side. Howard with it. Back out front to Connor. Now Christensen in the lane. Back out to Christensen. His jumper is around and through. Pat Christensen has 4 points. 12-10, 2-point lead for Breckenridge.
Good shot by Christensen from near the baseline. Sunk it for 2.
Almost an impossible angle. He was
Really?
almost off the floor. That one goes over everybody out of bounds, so a turnover by Breckenridge. They're second of the first quarter. And Orr now with a chance to tie it up, and we have a full court press for Breckenridge with 1:06 to go in the first quarter. Orr gets it into the front court. Christensen with it. Moves to the far side. They bring it over to Connor. At the baseline to LaRock. He dumps it back out front, and Connor stops it from going over the timeline. Howard. Christensen. Stolen away. Breckenridge. Fast break. Up underneath, and it comes off. Rebound for Breckenridge. Another rebound as they had 3 cracks in it and missed them all. Yagi had 2 of them, and Ness had the other, and they missed all 3 of them.
And I think you have to give Orr a lot of credit for not fouling underneath there.
They really, how they came through that maze without picking up a whistle somewhere along the line is amazing.
Would have slapped somebody in the head, you'd think.
15 seconds left in the first quarter, 12-10. Breckenridge leads by 2. Orr has the ball. They'll go for 1 shot. Cross court, stolen away. They throw it away. Lip. Gonna have to get a shot off in a hurry. 2 seconds left. Puts it up. It'll count if it goes. It does not. It comes off. That's the end of the first quarter. The score, Breckenridge 12 and Orr 10.
Here's another great.
12-10. Breckenridge leads Orr after 1 quarter of play here at the St. Paul Civic Center. Don't forget, we have AA action coming up over at the Metropolitan Sports Center. Woodbury and Minneapolis-Washburn. That game has not yet gotten underway.
Sir Joseph,
the second quarter.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you found generally in your experience that the team that comes out here and shows the most poise early in the game is generally in most cases the team that goes on to
Not
to
necessarily. You'll find a lot of tournament jitters, and we've seen some great comebacks in the second half, especially on opening day, Barry, because a team will come out and really not play the way they're capable of through a first half, and if they can get it under control by the time the second half gets underway, and if they're not completely blown out of the ball game, if they're a truly class team, and a lot of them are, to make a real ball game out of it. I think we saw that in the first game with McIntosh Winger coming back very strongly.
And we saw that in Class AA with Rosemont and Cambridge,
We
too.
certainly did. 12-10 here. Breckenridge has the lead, but Orr has the ball in the front court. LaRock brings it back out front. Olson on the left side. Now Connor into the lane to Olson. Turnaround jumper from 14.
Basket by Olson.
Tim Olson has 6 points, and we're tied again at 12 apiece.
Olson's their leading scorer. He's a 6'5" center. He has a career record of 1,325 points. He's a 4-year varsity player at Orr.
Third time we've had in the game. We were tied at 2-2, 6-6, and now 12-12. We had a whistle, and a foul coming up
Ricky Howard for the Braves is first.
on Orr. And Orr, right now, getting into a little problem with those fouls. Ricky Howard commits his first personal, but that is his team's 5th.
Looks as though Howard hurt his
And-
knee or his ankle.
Let's see, we've got a conference going on down there. They're starting to line up at the free throw line. Get a chance. Yeah, there you see, Ricky. Here's the play. Stan Ekren for Breckenridge, and Ricky right there.
Yeah, it looks as though he
Maybe
twisted
they
his
did
ankle
not
there.
call a foul. I thought they had. Yes, they did. They called the foul.
I think in desperation falling as he twisted his ankle.
Ricky
fell
Howard, he
over
may
on
have
Ekren
fallen
there.
into him.
Yeah.
And that puts Breckenridge into the bonus situation now, and that's what I was talking about, Orr having some problems in the foul department. The free throw is no good by Ekren. He has 3 points in the game. He's 1 out of 3 from the gift line now. Still 12-12. We're all tied up. 6:54 to go. First half of the game. Ouch. Little traveling call there. Francis Connor got a good head of steam up, couldn't stop. And we had the turnover. Tie ball game at 12 apiece. The winner of this game will play Howard Lake Waverly in the semifinal round tomorrow evening here at the St. Paul Civic Center. Underneath they go. The fadeaway jumper is around and off. Rebound picked up by Ness, and he lost it out of bounds. Boy, Barry Ness shooting it tough luck there all the way around.
Isn't it?
The ball was halfway down, came back out. He got the rebound only to lose it off his feet. Full court press again by Breckenridge, but not too wholeheartedly. Here you see Ricky Howard over on the side. He really hurt that ankle, getting the freeze treatment right now. You can see by the grimace on his face that he's in pain.
He's hurting.
Connor atop the key. We have 6:10 left in the first half. 12-12 tie game. Only points of the second half have been scored by Orr. We have a foul underneath.
An offensive foul on Dave LaRock.
I'm afraid
6'3"
right
senior.
now that Orr getting in foul trouble. That's LaRock's 3rd. Christensen has 3. And they can ill afford to get into a situation like this early in the game. Still have 6 minutes to go in the first half, and 3 fouls is a burden.
It is Orr's style to put pressure on the ball. They'll play a man-to-man or a man-to-man and zone combined version. You see the foul there, and maybe they're doing a little bit too well now, trying a little bit too hard.
Free throw by Wessels is good. He has 5 points in the game. He'll get another shot. There's a good look at Ron Wessel, 6'3" senior. Second free throw comes out, but Breckenridge controls the tap. Wessels from the baseline, in and out, gets his own rebound. A lot of long rebounds so far in this game. Wessels. Beautiful jumper by Ekman, and he has 5. His second field goal of the game, and Breckenridge shoots back up by 3 at 15-12. Orr has led just briefly. They relinquished the lead after leading from the outset at 6-all and have not had the lead back since, although they've tied it. Orr is going to talk about it. There's a timeout on the floor. The score, Breckenridge 15 and Orr 12.
Tickets for Friday night's game are on sale now.
15-12 our score here with 5:29 to go in the first half of Class A competition. The final game of quarterfinal action here in the 1978 State High School Basketball Tournament. We'll be taking you over to the Met Sports Center shortly once the game between Woodbury and Minneapolis Washburn gets underway. Right now, Breckenridge with a 3-point lead over Orr. Game has been tied 3 times. Orr has led once. Breckenridge with their second lead of the ball game. Christensen has 2 shots come off. Ekman had the ball. Now Lip into the front court for Breckenridge. Into the lane for 2. Scott Lip, leading scorer for Breckenridge, has his first points of the game. And it is 17-12. That's the biggest lead that Breckenridge has had so far. 5-point margin. To Lip. The steal by Yagi. Baseline for 2 more. Wessels the bucket. He has 7 points, and suddenly Breckenridge is shot to a 7-point lead. Orr wants to talk about it. There's a timeout on the floor. The score, Breckenridge 19 and Orr 12.
Aggressiveness.
Breckenridge has outscored Orr 7-2.
I would say that Orr better be careful, or Breckenridge is going to run away with this ball game. Now, Breckenridge only has a 7-point lead, and we have 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second period of play here this evening. But Breckenridge has been taking advantage of Orr mistakes. They've been forcing the mistakes, and they've been capitalizing on them the last couple of minutes. They're leading by 7 now, and Orr can't afford to have that 7 go any higher.
Well, I think, too, one of the problems for the Braves of Orr is that Pat Christensen and Dave LaRocque, both carrying 3 fouls, cannot afford to be too aggressive underneath. And Breckenridge is now getting second and third shots on some of the balls that they're tossing up there. Orr with the ball, and Breckenridge in that full court press again. A little more earnestly this time. Christensen in the backcourt. They get it front court side. Olsen with it. They don't want him out where he is. This is Dale Atillo underneath. And we have a foul called as Olsen put up the shot.
Foul called against the Cowboys, number 34.
And the foul is called on Wessels. His first and the first team foul of the first half.
Here you see Tim Olsen going up for the shot, and Wessels slapping him from behind there. Olsen is on the line.
This will be the first free throw for Orr in the game. And Wessels now has, or excuse me, Olsen now has 7 points. 19-13, 6-point lead for Breckenridge with 4:23 to go in the first half. Olsen could cut that, and he does. 19-14, 5-point lead.
Interesting, Joe. Orr coach Bill King said that really Olsen would make a better guard, but with the height he had, he made him a center. He said, go in there and play in the middle. Do the best you can. He's
Wessels
doing a great job.
for 2.
Number 34, Wessels.
Ron Wessels has 9 points, and Breckenridge is back up by 7. That matches their biggest lead of the game. 21-14. It was tied at 12-12. Since that time, Breckenridge has outscored Orr 7-2. Olsen, fadeaway jumper, off the rim, and a rebound belongs to Ness of Breckenridge. Lip into the front court. They've held him pretty well in check. Comes right back down to Breckenridge. Into the lane, meant for Wessels, picked off. Christensen with the defensive play for Orr. The Braves down by 7, 21-14. This is Connor. Howard still out, hurt his ankle earlier. Connor to Olsen, 24 feet away. Yes, sir.
The goal to Olsen.
Tim Olsen holding him in right now. He has 10 points.
And he will take him like that every time.
21-16, 5-point lead for Breckenridge. We have 3:05 to go here in the first half. Wessels again, in and out, and the rebound belongs to Orr. Dave LaRock. Now Francis Connor into the front court. Has to get rid of it, does to Christensen. He dumps it off in the corner. Teal. Shot put up, comes off, no good. Long down court pass. They get it to Wessels for 2 on the backhand layup. Wessels has 11, and Breckenridge up now by 7 again with 2:28 to go in the first half. Metropolitan Sports Center and see what's going on in AA and Roger Buxton.
Game between Washburn and Woodbury has just gotten underway. Washburn's out in front 2-0 with 6:56 remaining in the first period of play. It took a long time to get going here tonight. Washburn coming into this game with a very significant height advantage. So if Woodbury's going to be in this game and perhaps even win, they're really going to have to hit the boards hard tonight. But anyway, early in the first period, Washburn leads it 2-0.
Shortly, bucket. Up and in by Dave LaRock, his first field goal of the game. 23-18, again a 5-point lead for Breckenridge. The lead teetering back and forth between 5 and 7 points over the last 2 or 3 minutes. Just 1:40 left to go in the first half. Lip, lead pass too far. He meant it for Ness, and it's picked off by Orr. So the Braves have a chance to cut that margin back to 3 points. Christensen drives, puts it up. It won't go. Rebound to LaRock, off his knees, out of bounds, and it belongs to Breckenridge.
I tell you, Breckenridge was having some trouble down there under the court as far as putting it through the hoop. Now Orr is starting to have a little problem.
Well, there you saw Bill King, the Orr coach, up off his feet.
They do that from time to time, don't they?
Yes, coaches have a tendency to act a lot like yo-yo sticks.
And they've been known to pat the floor
through the whole game. I tell you, I think sometimes coaches get more activity in than their players. Here comes Breckenridge back. And 2 points for Mike Yagi. He has 4. And Breckenridge is back up by 7, 25-18, with 1:05 left in the first half. Christensen, 32 feet away. Connor, off the front of the rim, and the rebound belongs to Breckenridge. This is Yagi. All the way, and it comes out of there. Ness with the rebound for 2. Ness has 5 points. 27-18, 9-point lead for Breckenridge. That's their biggest. Well, that didn't last long. Tim Connor has his 12th point of the game, and it's a 7-point lead again.
Obviously, Bill King has told his Orr Braves to come out shooting from the outside, try to get some points on the board here in the second period.
27-20, Breckenridge up by 7. And a steal by Christensen. Wessels after him, 2 points. Pat Christensen has 6, and the lead is down to 5, 27-22. Breckenridge with 12 seconds left in the half. Wessels gets it over on the side to Yagi, almost lost it. Ness in the lane, won't go. And we'll have a jump ball with 4 seconds left. The jump will come between Stan Ekren and who will jump for Orr? Christensen? I believe so. Pat Christensen, 6 foot. Ekren at 6'2" for Breckenridge, and he controls the tap to Lip. Baseline, fakes, and before he could get the shot off, the buzzer sounds. That's the end of the first half. The score, Breckenridge 27 and Orr 22.
When you're out of town and out of cash, TCF...
St. Paul Civic Center, our score at halftime, Breckenridge over Orr 27-22. And as we have throughout the day, we like to take a look at the areas involved in our game. So let's take a look now at the areas of Breckenridge and Orr.
Hi, I'm Jerry Rick, a student of Valley of the North on the Minnesota-North Dakota border. Breckenridge is built around the confluence of the Otter Tail, where the Red River of the North begins. Breckenridge was named after John C. Breckenridge, twice Vice President of the United States, from 1857 to 1861. In 1871, the St. Paul Pacific Railroad reached Breckenridge and ushered in a period of booming growth. Breckenridge has a population of 4,200. In the past, Businesses and industries in Breckenridge and the surrounding area have been mainly connected with the production and processing of agricultural products. In the past years, Breckenridge is intensifying its efforts to stimulate and attract industries of all kinds. One fast-growing industry is the sugar beets. Mindak Farmers Cooperative is comprised of over 300 sugar beet growers and accounts for over 52,000 acres of sugar beets. Also, Breckenridge is known as an area medical center. Breckenridge has been designated as a growth community. Retail sales and bank deposits have increased tremendously in the past 2 years. The Breckenridge Housing Authority operates a very fast-growing community. Breckenridge also has a 4-story housing development with 78 apartments for low-rent housing. The Breckenridge area has an abundance of churches of various denominations. Breckenridge is in the area of good pheasant and duck hunting. The elementary school containing grades K through 5, the middle school grades 6 through 8. Also the Breckenridge Senior High School, grades 9 through 12. The new high school was completed in the fall of 1968 and started the first quarter semester block system in Minnesota. This facility accommodates a 600 student capacity. On the 35 acres, Breckenridge High School athletics compete interscholastically in football, cross country, volleyball, basketball, wrestling, track, baseball, golf, tennis, and gymnastics. Intramural programs are conducted in basketball and bowling. The school offers a variety of courses, ranging from photography and upholstery to basic academic courses like chemistry and history. Breckenridge Public Schools serve the educational needs of students from Breckenridge, Brushville, Dorn, Everdale, Foxholm, McCullochville, Kent, and Wilburton.
When you unfold a Minnesota road map and look way up on top, you find Orr, a small town cradled in the heart of the great Minnesota wilderness area. Although Orr only has a population of 313, it serves as the gateway to the renowned Boundary Waters Canoe Area and the new Voyageurs National Park. Sportsmen will recognize the area from the many famous lakes, rivers, and streams. The community itself is located on beautiful Pelican Lake, and other lakes are Myrtle Lake, Crane Lake, Sand Point, and Namakan Lakes, Lake Capitogama, Ash Lake, Ash River, Net Lake, Black Duck Lake, and Elephant Lake. Orr is also the departure point for the famed Kettle Falls Territory. Recently, a $1 million airport was constructed in Orr to provide tourists with a more convenient access. In addition to tourism, timber harvesting and forest products are Orr's other major industries. Orr is also the home of the Ambassador College Summer Education Program. Its $3 million campus is located on the shore of Pelican Lake. Although our community is small, the school itself draws its student population from a 2,000 square mile area, which is larger than the state of Delaware, with the District of Columbia thrown in for good measure. The students come from as far north as Lake Capitogama, from as far west as Net Lake, Indian Reservation, from Gein to the south and Crane Lake to the east. Our total school enrollment from kindergarten through 12th grade is 493 students. In the senior high school, enrollment is 139. 95% of the student body is transported to school on buses, or as part of Independent School District 710, formerly the St. Louis County Rural School System. The faculty and students are very proud of their unique school curriculum. In 1972, Orr High School was funded through the Council on Quality Education to develop a rural school curriculum expansion program. Orr instituted a series of elective mini-courses, which increased their course offerings to 150. The larger number of courses provide students with greater variety and make school more interesting. Among some of the courses Orr now offers are fish and fishing skills, radio and TV production, photography, advanced carpentry, and timber harvesting, one of our more outstanding achievements. In addition to its fine basketball program, Orr students compete in football, baseball, boys and girls track, and volleyball. This is the second time that Orr High School has been entered in the state high school basketball tournament in the past 3 years. We're again happy to be visiting the Twin Cities area with your Twin City Olds dealers.
We return you to the St. Paul Civic Center and the Minnesota State High School Basketball Tournament.
Quickly, our scoring here in the first half for Breckenridge. Ekron had 7, Wessels had 11, 3 for Ness, 2 for Lip, and 4 for Yagi. For Orr, Connor had 2, Olson 12, Christensen 6, and 12 for LaRock. 27-22 Breckenridge leads at halftime. This is the 1978 Minnesota State High School Basketball Tournament.
McDonald's Love Match game.
Breckenridge controlling the opening tap, just underway with the second half of play. Scott Lip for 2. Lip has his second field goal of the game. He has 4, and Breckenridge leads by 7, 29-22, as we're underway now with period number 3 of the final game of quarterfinal competition in Class A. We have 3 winners, and the winner of this game between Breckenridge and Orr will join those other 3 in the semifinal competition. That's Tim Olson, and he has 14 points, 29-24. Breckenridge lead cut to 5. Butterfield Odin defeated Clara City 80-52 this afternoon. Lake City over Glencoe 48-42. And in our first game tonight, Howard Lake Waverly over McIntosh Winger 67-60. Ball batted around, and Breckenridge controls it. They bring it back out front to get it over to Yagi. Yagi on the left side. Now Wessels, Ness, Yagi in the lane to Ness. He's tied up. We'll have a jump ball. 6:51 left to go in the third quarter. A 5-point lead for Breckenridge. Their biggest lead has been 9 points. They have had that twice.
This is Ness at 6'5" against Dave LaRoque, 6'3".
Ness controls the tap. Lip from the free throw line. Tried to dump it underneath, and it's picked off by Orr.